Hello everybody, Jam here, and welcome to my highlights from the most recent round of the Vision Gaming Network Early DTM series. It's taken me a little bit of a while to get this one out, and if you know me, you'll soon see why. So qualifying, once again, pretty similar to last week. I think I qualified 7th last time out, and 8th this time. Still, perhaps, inklings of underperformance on my part, but I'm still well in the top 10, still in with the mix, and I'm still doing very well in the standings, and I seem to be doing better in the races than I am in quali anyway, so I think, is that a fair statement to make? I think so. Anyway, I'll stop rambling and start commentating. Not a huge amount has happened off the line, but as we come round turn 1 for the first time at Lime Rock, there are two cars that have just run wide, probably thanks to cold tyres, and that's me up to 6th, basically, immediately, and we're trying to have a look, see if we can make it into 5th past DOR Martin, but it's very difficult to get overtakes done, really, around here, and, yeah, especially when you... Oh, that's not a good line through there, is it, already? That's not a great start. Probably the first person into the tyres on lap 1. That's fun. Oh, I don't think I noticed that before. It looked like Martin had a little bit of a moment there up on the grass, and, yeah, Tigger's gone for the move around the outside of me, but, again, despite having the chicane added, it's just not easy to get overtakes done, and I was able to defend it relatively well, and that's not a great line out the final corner, but that's the first lap done of this race, and hopefully it's just going to stay status quo into lap 2. That Alpha's very quick on the straights, but yeah, Tiggerwoo can't quite get far enough alongside to put a move together, so we're going to jump onto lap 3 now, just one lap later. We're sitting right up behind Martin. You can see in the mirror that I've managed to get away from the car behind somewhat. And it's not actually going to be me making moves. It looks like it's going to be Martin going up the inside of Lucky Sod on the left-hander there. Sticking it around the outside for the right-hander. I've tried to cut back to the inside to get my nose alongside as well, but that doesn't seem to have worked. Nice move for Martin there. So it's a shame that I couldn't capitalise. Anything going to change up the hill? No, I've had a pretty bad run round there actually. So I think we're going now. Cut. Ooh, good timing for once. So another one lap later, same corner up the hill, and I've had a pretty good run this time. Looking to the inside, Lucky's going to defend, so I switch to the outside. Can I make it all the way around the outside? I think Lucky's got a little bit deep there, really, maybe? I don't know, but there's contact between us, and we're still side by side on the exit. And now I'm going to be on the outside for the final corner, which is not a place you want to be. Yeah. Not really quite sure what I was going to do, trying to do there. Maybe if I was looking for a cutback, it didn't look very good, and I certainly didn't try and hang it around the outside. So another couple of laps later, once again, same corner, up the hill, into the chicane. Once again, Lucky's going defensive. I'm not attacking this time. I'm not part the way alongside, and Lucky's got a little bit deep in the middle, and I dive up the inside between the right-hand apexes and hang it around the outside for the left-hander. And I'll tell you what, I'm so happy with that move. It looks so good. It's just, the gap opened and whoom, I'm going straight into it. And then lap 7, safety car called. Start of lap 9, and the safety car is over. I can't. Oh, that's deep into the back of Martin. That's not what I want to be doing. Yeah, I can't actually remember why the safety car was called, to be honest. Obviously, it's not anything I saw from my perspective. Else, it would have been in the video already. But alas, not to be. So we're just going to watch as we get this race back underway. And yeah, nice and clean on the restart. Later, just the end of that lap actually, I must have had a pretty good run round the final corner, closing up on Martin, darting left, darting right, going to the outside for turn 1. But unless you're a long way alongside, that's never really going to work, so I'm not surprised I didn't pull that one off. So, another couple of laps later again, and oh, that was nearly a moment, but yeah, another decent looking run on Martin by the looks of things. He's just not letting me have that inside, but he's run a little bit deep, and I dive up the inside on the mid corner rather than on the entry. Wheel on the curb for the second part, and don't get the drive out of the corner. And we've now got Hordes in the Mercedes behind me. He's managed to get himself past Lucky Sod and up into 6th. So it's that horrible position of I still want to try and attack Martin, but I do just have to be careful that I don't let Hordes get involved as well. And at this rate, I'm not going to be attacking Martin, because it looks like he's going on the attack. Oh no, because Matt's up there as well. Oh Christ, this is getting congested. Where's Hord's gone? I can't see him in my mirror. I think he's directly behind Martin. I'm on the inside into the final corner. There's Hord's tucking in behind me now. And crikey, that was all tight. We didn't quite see what happened up ahead, but something between Matt and Bobby, I think, because it sort of held Martin up, and Martin was having a look at a move on Bobby, and then I think he hit Matt. Anyway, let's. I don't want to ramble about that corner too long because I've completely missed the fact that Hawes went for a deep dive around the outside of turn 1, which is exactly what I said you can't really pull off a couple of laps ago. You see, he should have been listening. We are going to stay on board though. This is a very long clip by the looks of things. So we're going to... I was starting to wind down what I was saying, so I was expecting us to cut to another highlight. But we're still sort of line of stern, a couple of corners later into the lap, going into that chicane. I'm just pulling out, having a look, braking nice and deep and running into the back of Martin. I've done that before. I think Hall just tried to dive up me inside to sort of pounce there. Oh, Bobby's off on the exit. Martin's going to be round the outside for the final corner, but he doesn't get the line right, and I can sneak up the inside. That was a very messy highlight. I can see why I stayed on board, but we're now... Oh, crikey, look how close Hordes is behind me as well. But we're on the inside for the first turn, not quite nailing the apex, and Hordes, as you can see by the proximity arrow, is up my inside now. I think there's a little bit of contact with him there. You can see his bonnet there, and I've still got Martin on my left-hand side, and we're 3 wide into the left-hander, and I'm being pincered in from both sides, and I couldn't really see a bloody thing, and well, that's what happens when you try and go 3 wide. I'm trying to rejoin the track nice and safely, but I think Martin was trying to do the same thing from the other side of the track, and we kind of pincered whoever was coming along there. So yeah, maybe not great from the pair of us, but in all that, I have got past Martin. I mean, it's kind of impossible to keep track of what really went on, but Horde's recovered the best of us. He's a couple of places up, and after rejoining, I'm immediately back on the attack, getting past GTR Vision, I think that was, back up into 9th. So we are going to cut to another clip now, and we're back up behind Tiggeroo. Tiggeroo's been in this video quite a lot. He was in the first couple of laps. I've really seen him on track much in the first couple of weeks. He has a little bit of moment over the crest there, though. I'm going to be diving round the outside into the hairpin, pinching him on the apex, probably a bit of contact there, taking lots of curb on the left, getting a good exit and trying... Oh no, he's going to come... He's not quite coming back at me at the final corner. And a little bit of a lift to make sure I don't run wide there. And that's up into P8. Looking... Oh, it's looking spicy ahead. We've got Solo, Hordes and Muggs all in the vicinity. I think Muggs was trying to go around the outside of Solo there, but I'm trying to follow Solo past Muggs on the inside, and Muggs gets squeezed off a little bit. Can I hang it around the outside for the left-hander? Oh, there's a little bit of an overlap. Can I keep my nose in for the right-hander? Maybe I can throw it up the inside here. Just don't quite have the track position there. Not quite. So, onto the penultimate lap. Once again, things are getting very congested through this chicane. And... Oh, Muggs has gone slightly wide on the exit, so we can accelerate past down towards the final corner, but we're going to be on the outside. Can we get that slingshot round the outside? I think we can, because he's now in my mirror, and it looks like we've cleared him. And once again, this is quite a long clip, so I'm assuming we're just going to stay on board for the whole of the last lap, because it's only, what, 50-something seconds long? So I guess we might as well. I'm just kind of hoping something slightly more interesting happens, because you know what my commentary's like when I don't have something to specifically talk about. I tend to ramble quite a lot, and I even ramble about rambling. And there we go, we've cut to the final corner. Thanks past me. Not the cleanest run around the final corner for the final time, but we will finish in 7th place, which despite the incident was still a position higher than I qualified, so I can't really complain. And those are the full finishing positions from 1st to 10th for you on screen. Quite briefly though, as we immediately jump to the grid for race 2, which is a reverse top 10, so that's 7th place, quite handily turns into a 2nd row start. So however many points I might have lost in the previous race with that particular incident, yeah, definitely a chance to make up for that here. And a very good launch off the line, gets my nose into 3rd already. But then Tiggeroo runs slightly wide, quite annoyingly, and allows Muggs to sneak up the inside. So I try and follow him through, get on the curb, and run into his side door. Not great, but we're still very much side by side, with 2x2 behind as well. Going into the right-hander now, and there's a bit of contact on the way in, and it pushes me up on the curb, and I get all kinds of sideways, and I've got wheel on the grass, and I spin sideways across the back, and I'm trying to get out of the way and hold it straight, and I'm twitching around everywhere, and Oh, and then there was a second wave that I really wasn't expecting, and as you can see from all the exclamation marks flying up and flying down the right hand side of my screen, I've got a lot of damage. Fortunately for me, at least, if nothing else, this is the one race of the night where there is a mandated pit stop. So it's not completely the end of the world, but as you can tell by that cut and the new lap timer, I have had to stay out for an entire lap with damage. Apparently, that's not going to make me try, not going to stop me trying going for overtakes though. I don't know if Rally Cap's got damage as well, but that's the amount that I have. And I have made it past him, and we're now going to head into the pits. But you see, I've got a lot of damage, and it's a really tricky pit lane here. I'm just fighting the car, and Rally goes for a much more aggressive pit entry than I, and we actually crash again on the way in. Fortunately, I was sort of enough already in the pit lane to get away with it. But I think he hit the entry tyre balls. It was very messy opening couple of laps, and as you might imagine, it was a bit quiet. The first time we see another car on track is now lap 11 we're starting, as DOR Fat Damon has come out of the pits, and we're going to try and, well, as I mentioned right at the start of this video, it's taken me quite a while to get round to doing this one, and if you know me, you know why, and if you don't know me, I'll explain. When shit hits the fan, I wouldn't say I'm necessarily always a bad loser, but when things go like that, like they have done in this race, and I mean, even to some extent, that's a bad incident. Even to some extent, what happened in the first race, I just hate having incidents, and I don't want to broadcast bad misfortune. I like having upbeat videos. I like to say, hey, look, I've had a good race. That's what I like doing. Like not necessarily say, hey, look, I'm winning, but hey, look, that was a cool overtake. Like the move I did on Lucky in the first race, I pointed out at the time, that was amazing. I loved that. I'm really happy that I captured that as a clip and was able to share it with anyone that wants to watch it. And I don't want to share me crashing. It's kind of, it's just maybe demoralising is the right word to some extent. But and we're going to fight on. But so that partly explains why it's taken me so long to get this video out. But I also kind of wanted to mention it because it kind of also explains my driving in the second half of this race. I've rambled past a really long clip with me making a mistake and getting back past Damon, but when he came out of the pits for the first time, I just lunged it straight up the inside into the left-hander. I think it's technically classified as turn 2. Like, I was very much having a no-nonsense kind of attitude to overtakes and was perhaps being a little less sporting than usual. That was a really weird incident. Ken Patchy had some kind of weird lag and just randomly spun out with no one else around him. It was, yeah, not ideal. That was an interesting one. Probably took a bit too much curb there, and I scraped across whoever it was bumper. Another person victim of that grass, and we got a great run here on Ken Patchy as well. Did I say Ken Patchy had the lag? Must have been Jubba. Apologies for that, AMS boys. Hopefully we're going to make this move stick though into turn 1 up the inside, and just trying to. You can see what I mean perhaps there. I was just, rather than sticking to the inside when making a move on the inside, I sort of got myself to the inside and then took my racing line. I guess sometimes it's a little bit more noticeable than others, the aggression I was perhaps driving with to try and make up positions late in the race. But I mean, I've done a fairly decent job of a recovery drive so far, I think. What? Lap 11, wasn't it, when we first caught Damon for 20th? So in 8 laps we've made up 7 places, and trying to go for another one there, but just misjudged the length of my bonnet there and sort of smacked into flex, so apologies for that one. Aggressive I might be, but dirty I am not, so I made sure I didn't want to capitalise on that one. Fortunately there, it was a relatively innocuous little bump, and there's so much runoff there he was able to recover without any issue really. And we're just going to stay on board now and see if we can get past him on this final lap. Getting a good run out the first corner. Yes, he's defended well into the left-hander there. I went for that dive, but similar to what I did on Damon, but just the room's not there. And Flex has done a very, very good job of defending for the first half of this lap, and I mean even to some extent the end of the previous lap, just positioning his car very, very well. And like I said, I might be trying to overtake a little more vigorously and a little more aggressively, but I'm not going to be dirty. So, but this is the move I was trying to set up on the previous lap, just keeping it nice and tight and getting to the left on the exit there. But once again, you know, my move didn't go wrong particularly. I was just hoping for Flex to be less good around that section, and he has had a good run and managed to hold the position all the way to the line. So lucky 13th for me in that one. And there are the results of the 9 people in front of me. Unfortunately, the screen's not big enough to... Well, not the screen isn't big enough, but Forza doesn't show you the full results at the end. So on to the last race, which is a full reverse grid, and I'm buried deep in the middle of it. I've actually had 3 very similar starting positions. What was it? Oh no, I haven't, sorry. I'm going doolally. I was thinking it was 7th, 8th and 10th. Oh no, 8th and then up to 4th and then back to 10th. So, oh, excuse me. Yeah, I'm not perhaps as low as I would, because of the incident in the last race, I'm not as low as perhaps I have been in the past for the final reverse grid race, which hopefully bodes well. Obviously, everyone that started in front of me, I managed to get back past in the second half of the previous race, so I've got some sort of confidence going into this. I know I can overtake all these guys. Flex was the first person I got up to and couldn't overtake, and he started behind me, so that's brilliant. And he's already behind West, my teammate, who we haven't seen at all in this video. We briefly saw his bonnet on the bottom of my screen a minute ago. I think that was him. Oh, great, yeah. I'd forgotten about that. There's West. He's behind me. I was just looking back at him. And while I was looking back at him, I think he was going side by side with Kenpachi. I was looking more at him than what my own car was doing, so that's why I got a little bit out of shape. And I was fortunate that didn't turn into a bigger sim twitch. I'm not gonna lie, but it's quite a hectic first lap, and I've moved from 10th to 7th, and I'm not 100% sure how. I think there was a little bit of an incident on the exit of turn 1, or I think it's technically 2 turns this long right-hander, isn't it? I'm not completely sure, but anyway, on the exit of it, we have got to the left-hand side of Sticks, is that? I think. The preview window really isn't big enough to read the name, and I can't see him because he's on my right-hand side. But I think that was a very long... Yeah, it is DRR Sticks. A very long side-by-side section there. It was a good little fun battle. Get to the inside for the left-hander to make that particular move stick. Oh, did he come back at me then? Or is it... No, he's side-by-side with my teammate now. I was in the mirror, and up ahead, Kragadon's having an issue. And Kragadon's really kind of messed that one up, I think. Being offline maybe braked a lot more than I was certainly expecting. I sort of braked at my normal point, and I thought it would be okay because he was so far ahead, but being offline and out of shape, and anyway, yeah, neither him nor Fat Damon managed to get a good run out of that chicane after that little incident. Sorry, just flicked my microphone there. That enabled me to capitalise quite nicely, and I think I haven't cleared Kragadon yet. He's in the mirror, but he's getting his nose alongside. We're just going to put the foot down on the exit, close him out, and up into 4th we go. And it's still only towards the end of lap 3, and ahead of me there's a little bit of contact between Cosworth and Rallycat, and it enables me to get to the outside of Cosworth, trying to cut back to the inside for the final corner, but it didn't work. I didn't realise how close Kragadon still was. He actually, I think, stuck his nose in there, which kind of stopped me from being able to get the cut back done on Cosworth. I can brake nice and late into turn 1 though, and Cosworth just... I was never really... Early on along the straight, I just wasn't in a position to overtake, but Cosworth never really put up much of a defence there, and just a bit of scaremongering really, to be honest. I just sort of lunged it, and he moved out the way, and I was up the inside and up into the podium places. Very nice. And another lunge into turn 1 is exactly what I'm going to do on Rallycat. A little bit of door-to-door contact that time, but I didn't force him wide or anything, so job done, move made. Very nice indeed. And we get a long jump now, a couple of laps later, until we first encounter Jubba, who's gone wide all by himself into turn 1. Obviously struggled with lag in the previous race, had a very good starting position for this one, and managed to gap the rest of the field in the early laps. You can see on the mini leaderboard, and also just by looking in the mirror, there's not really anyone particularly close behind at the moment. Couldn't quite capitalise on Jubba's mistake at turn 1 though, and as we enter the uphill section, we're still behind. Oh, that's... yeah, I flinch and wince every time I go over that crest and just light up the rears. It's can be a horrible section of track, and Jubba's gone an awful line through there. And I'm on the left-hand side once again into the final corner. I've been in this position many times. This time I'm going to try and hang it all the way around the outside. Wheels on the curb on the exit. Jubba's had a nice run down the inside and he's got a better run down the straight. And I'm stuck on the outside into turn 1. Dab the brakes early, switch to the inside, go back up the inside, and when I was pulling that, when I was first going up the inside, I was really happy with how I pulled that off because I wasn't alongside. Oh, and he's twitched on it all by himself on the exit. So I'm back alongside, and I'll go back to explaining what I was saying in a minute because we've still got a chance of getting this move done on the inside for the right-hander. Accelerating down towards the horrible uphill turn 6, I think it technically is. And here we go, into it, clear of Jubbo, slotted in behind, and that is the lead. But yeah, that move into turn 1, I was, as I got to the inside, I was really happy with it, because I had to literally dab the brakes to swap to the inside, because I had a bit of an overlap on the left, and I wanted to get to the right. And I thought it was a nice move, but I don't know if yeah, Jubbo, it was Jubbo. I don't know if he just didn't see me coming or didn't think I had any right to the corner or what, but you know, there was a bit of contact to that to back out of it. But yeah, it was a shame that he made another mistake literally so soon. But the rest of the race wasn't really very eventful for me. And as you can see on the previous screen, the results of the rest of the top 10, and as you can see on this screen, the results for all of the evening. And that leads us nicely onto the overall standings, where I'm still top, and I've still got a nice 18-point lead over Hordes. Martin in 3rd and my teammate Westy in 4th, and with my teammate Westy in 4th and myself in 1st, it gives us a nice lead there. And that will be it for this video, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.